Good morning, welcome back to CA Sri Lanka webinar series. So today my final session, I am going to discuss question mainly from two topics, technology chapter number 14 and internationalization chapter number 15. So actually last time when we met, actually we discussed a question from technology part, but today I am going to discuss another question from the same area. So today first of all we will discuss question number 40. Look at about the question number 48, I think. I'll check. We will start with the 47, then we will move to the 48. Right, look at the requirement of the question first. So, I am discussing question number 47, SPS. Look at about these questions, look at the requirement here. Required, identify 4 activities in the value chain of SPC that may be affected by the e-retail investment, explaining whether the value added by each of them may increase or decrease as a result of the retail investment. Right. If you look at about this requirement, this question tests your knowledge on the value chain. So, but here it tests your knowledge in technological application in relation to value chain model. Right. So, technological applications in relation to value chain model. So, you should have an idea about what is value chain, what are the activities of the value chain, plus you should have a good idea about what are the new technological application you can use within the value chain model. Right. First of all, you want to identify what is value chain. So, you are aware that value chain describe value creating activities of an organizations, or in other words, value adding activities of an organizations. If you look at about the value creating activities of organizations, they are not similar in nature. Sometimes you can identify so many differences among the value creating activities, especially when you are comparing 2 or more industries together. So, within a particular industry you can identify more similar value chain activities, but if you try to compare 2 industries, then you will be able to identify some differences. To get some understanding about value creating activities of an organization, we normally discuss the value chain model introduced by the Michael Porter. So, we discuss the value chain model introduced by the Michael Porter. I hope you remember the model, Michael Porter's value chain model. So, we will try to recapture what we have learned under the value chain model. So, first of all, actually we identify the definitions. Value chain describe value creating activities of an organization. In other words, value adding activities of an organizations. So, if you look at the value chain model, there are two main activities: primary activities, support activities, then in addition to that, here you can identify the margin. Here, according to the Michael Porter, primary activities refers to activities concerned with creating and delivering product or services. It is concerned with creations or delivery of a product or service. These are the activities directly connect with the creation and delivery of the product. If you look at about the primary activities, you can identify 5 main primary activities. What are the primary activities? Inbound logistic, operations, outbound logistic, sales and marketing, services. Then support activities, these are the activities which facilitate the proper functioning of the primary activities. If we look at about the support activities, there are 4 support activities. Firm infrastructure, procurement, HR management, human resource management, then technology development, right. If you look at about the individual activities within the value chain model, The first one is inbound logistic. Under the inbound logistic, we try to identify activities related with receiving raw material into the organizations, raw material and other item actually, raw material into the organization, then storing them within the warehouse, then issuing them to the production work. Then operation refers to manufacturing activities where input is converted into output. Operations. So, that is the normal manufacturing activity we can identify. The next one is outbound logistic. What is outbound logistic? Here we try to identify two main activities: storing finished good within the warehouse and issuing them to the customers. Then sales and marketing, activities related with informing goods and services to the customers and persuading them to buy the product or services, we identify as sales and marketing. Services refers to activities after the selling of the product, after selling transaction done. For an example, activities like training, installations, then some other activities like guarantee, warranty come under the services. Then if you look at the support activities, the first one is procurement. Here what is procurement? Procurement refers to activities related with purchasing of raw material and other items. For example, calling quotation from suppliers, evaluating them and select the best supplier to buy the products. HR management, human resource management. What is human resource management? Recruit, develop and retain talented individual for the organizations. You can simply say HR management. Recruitment, selection, discipline management, performance management, employee motivations. There are a lot of activities which come under the HR management. Then technology development. Here we look at about the activities related with the technologies. Here some of the activities may be helpful to do some improvement. For example, research and development, R&D. Then another example is IT, information technology. Then firm infrastructure, in simple term you can say this cover the activities which are not covered from the other activities in the value chain. Normally this include activities such as planning, quality control, finance, general administrations. These are come under the firm infrastructure 1. Here the margin is the difference between selling price and the cost, right. So, we have discussed about the value chain model in the classroom. Then we will look at about how IT can be applied within the value chain model also. impact of technology on the value chain. So, in this topic we look at about different new technological applications which can be used with the value chain model. If you look at about the inbound logistic activity, now you know what is inbound logistic activity. Now you know the meaning of the inbound logistic activity. In there, so what are the application normally we can use, IT application we can use. One example is material requirement planning, MRP. MRP, for an example, suppose you are going to produce product X, you are going to produce product X. To produce product X, assume you use 3 raw material A, B and C. Then when there is a specific requirement of producing product A, for example, say unit 800, then you should be able to identify how many raw material unit you require from A, B and C. So, normally you do this work manually, but nowadays there are some softwares which can be used for this purpose. There are some MRP softwares where you can tell the system what type of product you want to produce. Based on that, the system itself will tell you the raw material requirement from each items. That is MRP. That is one application you can use within the inbound logistic. Then another one is enterprise resource planning, ERP. You know what is ERP? ERP is an example for enterprise wide system where most of the function or all of the functions are integrated together. Sometimes you may have some work experience with ERP like SAP. So, here what you can do is in a ERP, one model should be inbound logistic activity. So, in addition that one there will be some other model, maybe model related with finance, HR, marketing, production. So, you may have a model related with inventories also, that is may be connected with inbound logistic. And another one is JIT purchasing. JIT purchasing. You know what is JIT purchasing? Within JIT purchasing, what normally you are going to do is you are going to eliminate inventories. How you are going to do that? So, in just-in-time purchasing, there is no time gap between receiving raw material into the organization and issuing them to the production work. When the requirement arises on the raw material for the production, raw material arrive into the organization. So, what you can do is supplier, customer and manufacturing firm can be connected together. Accordingly, supplier can identify the requirement of the manufacturer very easily. So, JIT purchasing can be adapted. That is another example. Then operations. So, you know what is happening in the operation activity, where input is converted into output, and this include manufacturing activities. So, we can use some of the technologies in relation to these areas. For an example, robotic manufacturing, we get the assistance of robots to do the manufacturing work. Then another one is process control. You can control the manufacturing process from beginning to end through computer. Machine tool control, for an example, there are different tools we use through computer. You can control these things. For an example, organization like Toyota use this one. Then computer manufacturing, in CIM, computer integrated manufacturing, ERP, all are example for application of technology in operations. Then if you look at about the outbound logistic, one example is warehouse management system, WMS, warehouse management system. What is warehouse management system? You have learned that one under the supply chain management. Under the warehouse management system, we manage the movement of goods within the warehouse. We record receiving of good into the warehouse. Then when we are issuing item from the warehouse also, we record them. In addition to that one, WMS system can be used to connect head office, regional and retail warehouses together. From that actually even you can identify the good in transit also. Then RFID, radio frequency identification device, This is similar to barcodes, but there are some differences. You have learned that one again under the supply chain management topic. From RFID you can capture the movement of goods very easily. Then in marketing and sales, one example is EPOS system, electronic point of sale system, EPOS. So what happened under the EPOS? You can do sales transaction can be executed through EPOS system. You may have experience with supermarket, so you may have given your credit card. Then what they will do is they will shift this credit card in that machine. දැකලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර ක්‍රෙඩිට් කාඩ් එක දුන්නාම පොයින්ට් ඔෆ් සේල්ස් මැෂින් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ඇතුළට දානවා. දාලා ඒතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට බිල දෙනවා ගෙවන්න කියලා. ඒක තමයි POS එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. point of sales machine එකක්. EPOS, this is connected with the respective bank system also. Then another one is CRM, customer relationship management. Again you have learned that one in the marketing, another example. Then use of the internet for online marketing and selling. So that is the known one for everyone. So internet can be used for online marketing and selling. Then services. So in relation to service, one example of technical application is the customer database. So within the customer database you can store all the relevant data of the customer. For an example, sales transaction of the customer, then any customer complaint, you can record the customer complaint within the database, and you can record the solution given also within that. Then procurement. So what you can do is you can apply this e-procurement activity. For example, EDI system can be used. You know, EDI connect supply and the manufacturer together, and it's a standard message system to communicate each other. So that is another example which come under the procurement. HRM, So, you can use some HR system like human capital management system HCM, where you can record detail regarding human resources, right. Then for example, when you have recruited employee, you can include the information within that. Then performance management can be done there, talent management can be done there, then training, everything can be recorded in that particular software, right. I just try to identify main concept in relation to technological application in the value chain. So, now we look at about the questions requirement here. Now, here the question requirement is identify 4 activities in the value chain of SPS that may be affected by the e-retail investment. E-retail investment, explaining whether the value added by each of them may increase or decrease as a result of the e-retail investment. We look at about this particular questions. There are few concerns. Here there is a technological investment take place. For the technological investment take place, that is e-retail. You started e-retail activities. So, you should have an understanding what is happening under the e-retail activity. What normally happening is you allow customer to purchase good electronically. That happen under the e-retail investment, right. We will go through the question scenario given also. Question scenario. So, look at the questions given here. Here the company name given is SPS. SPS is a medium sized retailer of sport equipment and leisure clothing. So, what is the product they deal? Sport equipment and the leisure clothing. They are not large organization, they are medium sized organizations. SPS was established in 1991 and currently operate from 3 retail shop in town center locations. So, it was established in 1991 and now they have 3 retail shop. The management team at SPC is very careful about how it recruits staff. In addition to the specific skill required to do the job, any applicant must also have a passion for the sport. They look at about the people who have done some sport, no. This has resulted in SPC gaining a reputation for excellent customer service and enthusiastic staff. So, that has helped to create better reputations in relation to the customer service. At the same time, the staffs are very enthusiastic. A large proportion of staff time is also devoted to training both on the product range and customer service technique. So, most of the staff time has been allocated for the training activities also. According to a recent survey conducted by the store managers, the customers believe that SPC employees are helpful and knowledgeable. The customers also praise the SPC Shoppo being well designed and said that it was very easy to find what they were looking for. A well designed one and very easy to find the good they are looking at. Another feature of SPC that is appreciated by the customer is the range of good stock. By developing close relationship with the major manufacturers of sport good and clothing, SPC is able to stock a far wider range of items than its rival. So, normally they have so many varieties compared with the competitors. Control of the stock was made easier last year by the development of a sophisticated computerized stock control system. They have a computerized stock control system. Using the system, any member of staff can locate any item of stock in any of the shops of the warehouse. So, you can use this stock control system, through that they can identify any item of stock in any of the shop or warehouse. If the required item is not in stock at SPC, it is also possible to automatically check the availability of stock with the manufacturer. That means system is connect with the manufacturer also, no. If it is not in the stock of at the SPC, they can check with the manufacturer whether the manufacturer is having the stock. At a recent management meeting, one of the store managers suggested that SPC consider developing its very basic website into one capable of e-retailing. At present, the website only gives the location of stores and some very basic detail of the range of stock carried. Although the development of the website would be expensive, the managers have decided to give the suggestion serious considerations. E-retailing mean what will happen actually. So, when customer go to the website, they will be able to make online purchasing also. Website is broadened to allow online transactions. Now, what are the value chain activities that will be affected due to this particular decisions? So, now you have an idea about the value chain activities, and we learn value chain activities, right, you may remember, right, we have discussed. So, what are the activities where impact will be there? One impact will be on the firm infrastructure. Why? Up to now, we did not do online selling, therefore, our infrastructure may not be supporting to such. Now, if you want to introduce online selling, there should be some infrastructure changes you have to allow. For an example, there may be some IT equipment you have to purchase and you have to connect. At the same time, there will be some difference in the business model also. Up to now, we were only a physical store, but now in addition to the physical store, now we become virtual store also. So, that is one of the change take place. So, there may be a new division sometime you have to add to execute this one, maybe online division separately, So, that division has to interact with the customers very carefully, then they have to make sure after customer has order good, the good is delivered within a reasonable time period. So, that is another change that may occur within the organization structure. Right. Then what about HRM? Is there an impact to the HRM activity as a result of this one? Here there are few concerns. One is the skill set of the IT people. So, IT people will handle the required IT infrastructure, and they should have the required capabilities to handle e-retail system. If the existing IT staff do not have that, we have to provide that training to them, and we have to upgrade their skills. Then there are some plus point we have in the person business model. What are the plus point we are having in the person business model? One is we are good in customer service. Now, the problem is in a retail business, the customer and the business organization interaction will be very minimum. So, you have to think about some way of having more interactions between organization and the customer. For an example, maybe like live chat, right? So that may give a better experience to the customer, even video chat. So, then they will feel like online shops, right? So, probably the staff members relevant with the online sales should be given the knowledge regarding these things, and organization want to introduce these new technologies. Then marketing, now here marketing has to play an important role in e-retailing activity. So, there may be certain new skill they have to develop. For an example, online marketing, how you are going to do online promotion of the company product, maybe like social media marketing. They can concentrate about social media marketing. So, then you should have people who are capable of doing that social media marketing. Then even if you have a CRM connected, they can work on CRM. Then through that they can do some marketing activities. For an example, email campaign can be executed by them. Right. Then technology development and inbound logistic, if you look at about those two, normally what you have to do is customer should be able to see the stock availability from their home. Therefore, system should be able to update stock figures real time basis. That is another thing it should be capable. The customer should be able to find whether the goods are available within the organization or not. That is one of the requirement. Then procurement part, you can have e-procurement system. What you can do is you can connect manufacturer, supplier and the customer together. When, for example, supplier should be able to see the inventory level of the manufacturer. If inventory level is come down to a reorder level, then they can start working to deliver the good. So, just in time supply strategy can be applied. That is one of the example we have identified under technological applications within that particular area. Right. I think we have covered most of the areas. Shall we look at about the answer also relevant to this particular questions? Question number 47. Right. Firm infrastructure. So, look at what are the point examiner stating. The location, design and layout of SPS shop will remain an important source of value. Although this may be reduced as physical stores give way to virtual online displays and sales, in essence we would move from having a purely physical infrastructure to having a mixed physical and online infrastructure. Yes, that is the new addition. No? Up to now we had only the physical mode. Now we have started to introduce the online facilities also. Therefore, we should have online infrastructure also. Sales revenue through the stores will decrease as some existing customers choose to shop online, but the associated cost of operating the stores will substantially remain. How it is likely that SPC's overall turnover will increase as a result of starting its online store. Clear no? Although there will be some cannibalizations of the existing shop sales, it should expect the online store to also generate some new incremental business. The e-retail avenue may increase the added value of point of sale infrastructure by enhancing the perceived offering to customers in terms of convenience, empowerment and potentially an entertaining online experience, generating additional sales revenue at lower administrative cost. Then HR, what the examiner say on HR activities, human resource management. Given that customers continuing to use the retail stores will be doing so primarily because of the human service element, the capacity of SPC staff to add value within offline retail segment should be increased. Yes, I also mentioned the same point. No? So, this may be a new area. So, you have to think about what are the ways you can give more customer value. This will however be diluted in overall term by the shift in sale to e-retail, where customer value is not significantly added by human intervention. Yes, but nowadays there are new technologies you can use to add more value to the customer, increase the human intervention. For an example, chat box technology, even video chat facility can be given, then customer feel like right physical interactions. You can mention those things also here if you want. The focus of HR added value may shift to skill in the design and implementation of the e-retail system, the ability of IT staff to deliver a quality service at lower administrative maintenance cost to the firm. Even IT people should be trained to get the required skill, right? Procurement activity, the e-retail system should increase the added value of SPC supply strategies and inventory control system. It will enable the full range of goods stock to be visible to all customers regardless of location, maximize the value of an attribute highly valued by customers. The retail system should also support better quality information sharing with suppliers, enabling better demand forecasting and delivery performance throughout the supply chain. So, you can connect these parties together. This may enable SP to add further value through just-in-time supply strategies, thereby reducing the amount of working capital tied up in inventories. Meanwhile, procurement has potential to add new value through the procurement of IT infrastructure, equipment and services, perhaps through managing and outsource IT support. That is another area they are supporting, that you can get outsource IT support. There may be further role in managing outsource fulfillment activities. Many e-retail organization outsource their warehousing and distribution system to specialists who can cope with greater volume of small transactions. Then technology development and inbound logistic. Integration of the e-retail system with the existing stock control system should increase its potential to add value. It will empower customer to assess stock availability information. We also identify the same point. You should allow customer to see the stock availability, generate orders and track orders at lower cost than via sales staff interventions. They should be able to track the orders current position also. The system should also allow real-time updating of stock figures and triggering of stock replenishment in response to online purchase. A real-time update of stock figures, we also infer the same. This increase the potential for reduced cost through fully automated and integrated e-procurement. Then marketing. The addition of e-retailing capacity has the potential to add considerable value to the firm marketing activities. It presents highly flexible, controllable and cost efficient operation for information, advertising, purchase incentives. Relationship marketing, you can gather more customer data. Then promotion, it particularly enhances market customer research by replacing customer survey data with data about actual customer browsing and purchase pattern and preferences. There is another point examiner tell, that is additional value adding activities. So, here only you want to identify 4 activities, but examiner has talk about 7 point. We look at about what he talk about under the additional value adding activities. It should also be noted that e-retail will create potential for new value adding activity in the area of outbound logistic, which currently operate within the internal supply chain only. Now, look at that one very carefully. It should also be noted that e-retail will create potential for new value adding activity in the area of outbound logistic, which currently operate within the internal supply chain only and represent cost without generating revenue. This is a waste activity which can be reduced by supplying direct from the warehouse to the customer. Prompt, reliable and tradable delivery is a major contributor to customer satisfaction. So, outbound logistics has the potential to create significant value, although greater premium prices, small value deliveries will also create new cost. So, what you can do is you can eliminate that outlet part. So, one activity can be eliminated from warehouse to the customer directly, good can be delivered. In value chain terms, service mean after sales service, this is like to be minimum at the moment and consists largely of dealing with return quality good. With e-retailing, it will be necessary for a more comprehensive reverse logistics service, which again both add value and incur cost. A reverse logistics system, customer should be allowed to return good very easily. This additional point examiner has identified. Right. Then we can move to the next question, question number 48. Question number 48 that test your knowledge on the last topic you have learned, that strategies for internationalizations. Strategies for internationalizations. Right. Question number 48. Why corporations? So, we look at about the requirement here. Required apply Porter's diamond theory, the comparative advantage of nation, to help the directors of the Y corporations determine whether or not it should proceed with establishing Y LAN FE. Note, it is not necessary to draw a diagram of the diamond theory, 10 marks. So, this question tests your knowledge on the Porter's diamond theory. So, before going through the facts given, we look at about the theory side also little bit relevant to this. Diamond theory, you remember this topic number 15, strategies for internationalizations. So, we discuss motive, drivers and challenges, then Hofstede framework. Number 5 is Porter's diamond model. Right. So, what is Michael Porter's diamond model? This model try to identify 4 principal determinants of national competitive advantage. What is national competitive advantage? This look at about country advantage in relation to a particular product or service. Here we try to identify factors that lead to get some advantage for a country in the world market compared with the other countries. Accordingly, there are 4 factors that determine the national competitive advantage. What are the 4 factors? Factor conditions, then demand conditions, related and supporting industries, firm strategy, structure and rivalry. Rival mean the competitions. So, factor condition, firm strategy, structure and rivalry, demand condition, related and supporting industries. So, we look at about each factor. If you look at the factor conditions, mean if a particular country is having the required resources to achieve the success in a particular industry, so that may be helpful to get some competitive advantage in the world market. So, what are the resources we can identify? For an example, human resources, whether you are having the required human resources to deploy in the respective industry. We look at about tea industry, for example, Sri Lanka is normally having some advantage in the world market in relation to tea industry. what do you think? Do we have the human resources which are required? Yes. If you look at about area like Norelia, we have the human resources, especially thanks to that Indian Tamil group. Physical resource is another example. For example, the climate, the land. Look at the tea industry. In rural area, we have the required land and the climate. The knowledge, we should have the required scientific and technical know-how, and we should have the required educational institute. For example, Talwakere Tea Research Institute. Capital, we should have the required money for the investment purpose. Infrastructure, so within the country there should be the required infrastructure such as transport, communication and housing. So, Porter divide them into two main factors. What are the two main factors? Basic and advanced factors. Basic and advanced factors. So, basic factors mean basic factors are normally factors like natural resources, climate, semi-skilled and unskilled labor, and these are good in industries where it require little investment. For an example, a country like Sri Lanka, we have more basic factors. We have unskilled labor, for example. Then another one is advanced factors. What is advanced factors? This is associated with well developed scientific and technological infrastructure. For example, modern digital communication infrastructure, highly educated people, for example, computer scientifics, university research laboratories. If you look at our country like Germany, they have the highest number of engineers per population in the world. That is why they have specialized in some industry like car industry, like you can find some of the main car companies staying in Germany, right, because they have many more engineers compared with the other countries. Right. The demand condition, that home market demand, for example, whether there is a high demand in the home market for the product. If there is a high demand in the home market for the product, so that will help to specialize in that particular industry. For an example, in Sri Lanka, normally tea is a part and parcel of our life. Think about how many teas you drink in a day. So, within the Sri Lankan market, there is a high demand for tea products that ultimately increase Sri Lankan capacity to operate in the world market also, because we have specialized in that within Sri Lanka. Right. Then the next factor is related and supporting industries. It is important to have some related and supporting industries for a particular industry. If the relevant relevant related and supporting industries are available that lead for some advantage in the world market. For an example, if you look at the garment industry in Sri Lanka, so there should be some raw material supply industries. In Sri Lanka, we have that one. Traditionally, we were specialists in there. Even you have heard about Queen story, no? So as a nation, we have specialized in those areas, right? Then that is one of the requirement. Then firm strategy, structure and rivalry is another factor. For an example, the competitions available. Whether we have so many competitors, the competitors lead to improve the quality standard. If you look at a country like Japan, they are good in motor car industry in the world. What is the reason for that? There is a high competition in the Japanese market. For an example, car companies like Toyota, Honda, Yamaha, Nissan, are available in Japan. Not only that, there are more, no? Like Mitsubishi, Suzuki are also in Japan. Look at all major motor car companies in Japan. So internal competition has driven them to achieve a good standard in the car industry. So internal competition, as a result of internal competitions, they have improved their standard in the world market. That has become an advantage for them. Right. Now you have some theory knowledge regarding this Porter's one. Then we will look at about the facts given in the question also. Okay, the company name given is Y Corporations. The Y Corporation is based in the United States of America. It was found in the early part of the last century when Mr. Y produced cartoon films. So, if you look at about the company, this is in USA. It was found in early part of the last century. He started with producing cartoon films. These soon proved very popular as a form of family entertainment, and the characters in the film became household name. So they become a very popular company in family entertainment. A character in the film became household name. The corporation established a theme park based around the film characters in the southern US, where there was a warm and mainly dry climate. So they enter into the theme park industry and they establish a theme park in southern US, where there was a warm and mainly dry climate. The theme park known as Y-Land proved to be an immediate success, attracting millions of visitors each year. A whole range of family entertainment flourished based on the original theme of the cartoon characters. These include shops, restaurants, hotel and amusement ride. Right, they were really successful, no, in the theme park. Following the success of Y-Land in the US, the directors of the corporation established another Y theme park based in Northern Europe. They went to the Northern Europe. The rationale behind this was that although many Europeans visited Y-Land in the US, the cost of travel made visiting the attraction very expensive. The directors believe that establishing a Y-LAN in Northern Europe would enable European people to visit the attraction without incurring high travel expenses. Directors believe that establishing Y-LAN in Northern Europe would enable European people to visit the attraction without incurring high travel expenses. So, they thought that to have a theme park in Europe, the reason is normally European want to travel to USA, there is a heavy cost involved in there. To avoid that one, they decide to go to Europe. The director believed that establishing a Y-LAN in Northern Europe would enable European people to visit the attraction without incurring high travel expenses. Y-LAN Europe was built in a highly populated area of Northern Europe, which is easily accessible. A factor which differentiates Y-LAN Europe from the theme park in the US is that it is located in a region which is frequently affected by rain and does not enjoy guaranteed warm climate. That may be a problem, no? Yes, because these work in warm climate, no? But here that is not there. Y-LAN Europe did not in fact attract the volume of visitors that were expected and almost went bankrupt before receiving a massive cash injection from a wealthy donor who took part shares in the theme park. They talk about this Y-LAN story also a little bit. Further strategic development, the T Corporation is now considering building another theme park, this time in a tropical area in the Far East. Y-LAN FE will be part funded by the host government in the Far East, which will take a 60 share in the park. The Y Corporation will fund the remaining 40%. Profit and losses will be shared in direct proportions to the shareholding of each of the joint venture partners. Profit and losses will be shared in direct proportion to the shareholding of each of the joint venture partners. So, now here Y contribution is only 40%, no? Yes. It is believed that local tourism and related sectors of the entertainment industry will benefit from the development, as the theme park will attract more visitors to the region. Similar to the other two Y-LAN theme park, the development will include many facilities such as hotel, bars and restaurants as well as entertainment attractions. Now, what is your requirement here? You have to apply diamond theory to decide whether you want to establish Y-LAN FEE. Right. So, you have to look at about the factors, no? What is the first factor we have identified in the theory discussions? Factor conditions. What do you think about factor conditions? US market, what do you think? No issue, no? They have the required labor, skills, physical resources and very strong education system. Even they have a good capital market to get the funds also. Now, here you have to look at about the availability of these things in Far East market, especially factors like labor. Now, capital there will be much problem, no, because here we are going to contribute only 40%. Specialized knowledge, we can assume that we can bring that one from our parent company USA, right. Here other labor will be a main factor. You have to look at about the European market, in Far East market, whether you can get the required labor at a lower cost. Then the next factor is home market demand. What do you think about home market demand in relation to this? Home market demand, USA, yes, there is a huge demand. No, if you look at about the questions, it's clearly mentioned. There is a huge demand in USA, and it was successful in that particular market also. And customer may require high demand service, and they have delivered that one, and they are good at that. Right. So this demand requirement may helpful when they are going to this Far East market. Why? Because they have catered to a good customer requirement. As a result, already they have increased their service quality. So that increased competency may helpful them to establish well in the Far East market. Right. Then related and supporting industries, US no issue, they have the supporting industries, for example restaurants, hotels, right, maybe some example for support industries. US they have. Then you have to look at about whether you can get the required support in the Northern Europe also. That is one of the things you have to consider. But you may be able to get the support from the US also, right? But if you are rely more on the East Europe market, sorry, Northern Europe market, sorry, we are going to Far East, no? Yes, Far East market. Then you have to look at about the availability of those industries within that. Then the other factor we have discussed, that is firm strategy, structure and rivalry. Firm strategy, structure and rivalry. If you look at the US market, definitely we can expect high competition, country like USA, definitely, right. We do not know how about the competition in Far East market. So that is one of the factor to be considered, right. Sometimes this government involved here, they may encourage other competitors also to enter into this particular market. So that should be carefully considered, right. So then we have analyzed the question. Shall we go to the answer and check? Why corporations? First of all, before addressing specific factors like factor condition, home demand, related and supporting industries, firm strategy, structure and rivalry, he has looked at about some of the general factors also. What are general factors he has looked at? In the context of global competitions, certain environmental influences are especially important. Porter's diamond suggests that there are inherent reasons why nations are competitive and why specific industries within these nations achieve competitive success and profitability. Yes, he talked, that is theory actually. He explained what is the meaning of diamond theory. The national home base play a big role in securing competitive advantage abroad. The home market contains environmental factors that the company operating overseas can build upon. In the case of the Y Corporation, the home base is the USA. Yes, that's true. This is one of the strongest and most self-sufficient economies in the world, and its cultural impulses are spread globally. Why has itself contributed to this influence with this particular brand of family entertainment? Whether or not this is an influence to be universally welcome, the dominance of US culture nevertheless paved the way for companies like Y to enter overseas market with relative ease and with huge resources to back them up. Then taking each of the element of the diamond in terms, now he is going to talk about each factor. First of all, he talk about the factor conditions. As refers to already above, the US has vast resources. Yes, if you look at about the question, it clearly mentioned that they have enough resources. These include labor and skill. They have the required labor, physical resources, a strong knowledge base and education system, and sophisticated capital market. You can go to share market and get the required fund very easily in a country like USA. Its infrastructure is highly developed. Within the country you can find fantastic infrastructure. The availability of resources, particularly labor in the Far East, must be confirmed. You have to look at whether you can get the required labor from the Far East market. Then home demand. Now here the home is what the country home, that is USA, no? Yes, USA. The demand for family entertainment at home in the USA has developed into a huge market that is transferring overseas. There is a family entertainment market in USA. The level of customer service that are demanded in US are very high. So, US customers are demanding high customer service, and the target market of children and their parents has become ever more sophisticated. Why will benefit from success in such a demanding environment? So, when customers demanding more, organization want to deliver that. They have to develop some competencies to meet that particular requirement of the customer. So, they may have done that one in US market. But it need to be sure that customers in the home environment are representative of customers in the Far East. Very important one. You look at the customer group in Far East, whether their requirement are similar to US customer need. If not, then the problem, because we may not have developed the required skill to meet the requirement of the Far East customer sometime. Y has not just follow market demand, however, but has helped to create it. The range of character that it has developed along with its theme park has helped to boost those demand levels. They may have created demand, therefore, so they may have the capability to do the same in the Far East market also. It has a unique product, brand image and reputation. This development will continue in the future. Then related and supporting industries. Ranging from catering and construction to filmmaking and the application of technology. Some examples are given for the supporting industries. Catering is one example, another one is construction. Y has a sound base of supporting industries in the US that could support it in any overseas ventures. They have supporting industry in the US and that may support in any overseas ventures. However, the host government should also help to support the company with a suitable infrastructure. They should provide the required infrastructure. But remember, you have to look at about whether the support and related industries are available in this particular country also, right? That Far East market, whether the required related and support industries are available or not. Then the next one, firm strategy, structure and rivalry. The market for theme park in the US is a large and competitive one. That's true, no? It's a large and competitive one with many park for children and parents to choose from. Y, however, has a strong and unique brand image and has become a household name to the extent that it dominates the family entertainment market. They have very good brand reputations in relation to family entertainment. It has economics of scale in its operations, they may have achieved that one. It has economic of scale in its operation that will help it to keep cost down, that is helpful to reduce the cost. The percent of competition in the Far Eastern location must however be considered. I will look at about what type of competition is available in the Far East market. The host government may be able to give information about the development of other attraction in the regions. They may give some information regarding the development of the attraction in the region. Right. So, with that we can complete the question number 48. So, with that we can complete our session for this time exam. So, we had around 20 hours sessions covering 15 topics, and within the revision program actually we discussed 27 questions. So, we have discussed 27 questions, it cover all the topics. A few words to the students, actually within this revision program we focused on discussing the question in the revision kit. We did not focus on discussing the theory. Theory was covered in the initial revision program conducted to CA Sri Lanka. If you go to CA Sri Lanka YouTube channel, you can find those videos also. Therefore, this series cover the whole thing you need, right. So, you have to find out these videos, then theory session is covered, right. I think more than 25 hours has been assigned on that one. You can find out those videos. In this time series, we cover 27 questions covering all 15 topic in your syllabus. So, this time we cover the whole, we cover the most of the question in the revision kit of you. Then in addition to that one, we have discussed the past papers also. Those videos are also available in the YouTube channel of CA Sri Lanka. There are 4 papers discussed. We had 2 exams actually, one physical and one online exam. So, answers for those 2 papers are available. In addition to that, there were 2 mock exam papers. Discussion of answers on those 2 papers also available. So, actually you do not want to participate any classes, because this course cover everything you need. So, only thing is you want to identify those videos. I think CA has arranged them in well manner where students can easily identify those videos. If you are unable, then send me a email or message mentioning your email. Then I have organized all these things into one particular place. I have prepared a document, then I can send that document which include the YouTube link. Then you can easily identify the respective links. Then thank you very much for staying with us in the revision program, and we will again meet soon with the pre-scene analysis of your case study given, right, free scene analysis relevant to the case study given for your exam, right. Thank you very much.